Powered by Pizza Hut. Live from the mic at Coventry Village. On 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Good evening and welcome to an abbreviated edition of the Kester's Postgame Show powered by Pizza Hut. I'm Adam Lundy coming to you live from the mic at our 1380 The Fan studio. And my man Eric Dudkevich is coming to you live from the Pizza Hut at Pine Valley, where he shot up the road from our game of the week, brought to you by Midwest Box Breaks, between the Carroll Chargers and the Northrop Bruins. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in Eric Dudkevich in here. Carroll comes into Spooler Stadium tonight, and it was an offensive shootout, and it was a long one tonight. We're only going to be doing an abbreviated post-game show. If you want to catch us, you can check us out on youtube.com/1380thefan, facebook.com/1380thefan, or just keep it tuned on your radio dial. But yes, it was a win for Carroll over Northrop, 48-37, two teams that came in 4-1 in SAC play tonight. And now Carroll comes out on top with one of the two 5-1 records left in the SAC.
Yeah, absolutely. Carroll gets the big win over Northrop. It was an offensive shootout, and that included the yellow flags. Long to be, but it was an exciting game out there. Carroll jumps out to a lead. It was kind of some back and forth slugging at first, but ultimately I think Carroll opens things up in that first half. It takes a lead into the half at 21-7, but Northrop comes out and swinging in the second half and gets that game close again. And it was 33-13 at one point, and they got it to 33-19, then 33-25, and then it was kind of back and forth after that. So a lot of passing, a lot of scoring, a lot of penalties, a long night out at Spooler Stadium, but ultimately Carroll gets the win 48-37. So they move to stay with one loss in the conference. And we'll go ahead and talk about the other side of that game. Snyder and Dwenger also playing out at Shields Field. Bishop Dwenger gets a big 26-6 win. So they have the one loss. So the 2-1 loss. We have Carroll and Dwenger. Of course, those two teams played a few weeks back with Dwenger winning that head-to-head. So as of now, heading into the regular season finale next Friday, Dwenger holds the tiebreaker lead over Carroll. So if both teams win next week, Bishop Dwenger will be your outright SAC champion, which it's been a few years since that happened. So big win for Carroll, big win for Dwenger. Northrop, nothing to hang your head on except really the penalties, Adam. And it was penalties across the board. I mean, they were throwing penalties. I thought I was going to get a penalty just standing there on the sideline. No, seriously. But it was a tightly officiated game, and I think that benefited Carroll because the emotions from Northrop of this magnitude of game, it was hard to keep things in check. And you're talking high school kids anyway. But Carroll got flagged a lot too. But it was a long game out there at Spooler tonight.
Yeah, just for reference for everybody listening out there that may have missed the game, this game at Spooler Stadium tonight took just about 3.5 hours from kickoff. It started at about 7 and ended up just about 12 minutes ago. So yeah, definitely a long one.
Yeah, first half, really the first half was long. First half ended about 8:45. So we're talking an hour and 45-minute first half. But I think when you have these two offenses that pass the ball around the way that they do, you're going to see stuff like that because it was a lot of stopping the clock to move the chains. Yeah. It was a lot of incomplete passes, a lot of dead ball personal foul penalties. So I think John Nolan said, if I remember correctly, 19 penalties between the two teams in the first half. So obviously we're not here to talk all night long about we're not here to talk all night long anyway because it's a short show.
Yeah,
but
we're almost done.
Ultimately, I think what he was able to do on the ground, something that we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot out of Gabe Freisinger, the Carroll quarterback so far this year, because he's got such an incredible arm. We saw Mason Bauman get a touchdown, but Van Pelt, I think, had Freisinger's a big kid who's strong. He stiff-armed a couple guys. There were some bang plays, like guys colliding, and he was able to run over some Northrop players. So it was kind of cool to see that because we hadn't seen that. But and then the defense for Carroll getting the big turnover early on. That really kind of turned some of the tides because I feel like both teams were struggling to get their momentum early out at Spooler, but ultimately Carroll was able to capitalize on a key turnover, go down and score, and that kind of gave them some breathing room that was much needed as the course of the game went on.
Absolutely. Was a great game tonight between the Carroll Chargers and the Northrop Bruins here on our Midwest Box Breaks Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan. We're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, I'll have a full rundown of our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven High School football scoreboard for tonight, and we'll get Dude's thoughts on some of those finals and what they mean for those teams when we come back. You're listening to the High School Postgame Show, Kester's High School Postgame Show, powered by Pizza Hut, live on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Pizza Hut, live from the mic at Coventry Village on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
And welcome back to the Kester's postgame show powered by Pizza Hut. I'm Adam Lundy along with Eric Dudkevich. Going to go ahead and give you a full rundown of all of our scores from in and around the 260s tonight on our H&K Chevrolet of New Haven High School football scoreboard. We're going to start off in the SAC tonight. We're in our Midwest Box Breaks game of the week. You heard Carroll defeat Northrop 48-37. Homestead shut out Northside 25-0. It was Bishop Dwenger over Snyder 26-6. Southside defeated Concordia tonight 42-7, and it was Bishop Luers over Wayne by a score of 17-7. Northeast State action tonight, it was Leo over Columbia City 30-7. DeKalb shuts out Belmont tonight 55-0. It was Huntington North over Norwell tonight 48-7, and East Noble got the win over New Haven 59-21. Moving on to the ACAC tonight, Adams Central got the win over Bluffton tonight 47-17. With the win, your Jets are now ACAC champions. Congratulations to Adams Central. Heritage defeated Southern Wells tonight 42-7. Jay County playing at LaPel out of conference tonight. LaPel got the win over Jay County 42-14. South Adams defeated Woodland 51-14 tonight. NECC action, it was Eastside in a big one over Central Noble 70-13. Lakeland over Fairfield 17-6. Fremont defeated Prairie Heights 45-6. Angola over Garrett 14-11. And an exciting one in Churubusco. Churubusco wins over West Noble 24-23 with a late touchdown with a 2-point conversion for the win for Busco. And in independent action tonight, it was Blackhawk Christian going down to Monroe Central. Monroe Central gets the win 56-28. And Dude, you had a couple of games from tonight's finals that you wanted to talk about.
Well, yeah, just the stats that came in from the Carroll Northrop game. Carroll gets the win 48-37. Gabe Freisinger 21 for 29. 340 yards with 4 touchdowns, another 72 on the ground. Jaden Van Pelt, 90 yards for 2 touchdowns through the air and a 46-yard touchdown run. Of course, David Callison, 306 and 2 touchdowns for Northrop. Jerquaden Kilford had a touchdown catch and 127 yards for Maddox Wiles. So that was a big one. And, hey, Adams Central, it continues to be the Adams Central Athletic Conference. They get the big win tonight over Bluffton 47-23. Jamison Roach, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 103 yards through the air. Vance Miller had a touchdown. Joey Everett had 2. And Axton Best, 19 for 30, 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Adams Central was able to shut down and slow down, I guess you could say, that Bluffton high-scoring offense that had been averaging 40 points a game. And Adams Central, again, puts another 40-burger of their own. So 30 straight game wins in the conference for Adams Central now. 5 straight ACAC championships. Wow, congrats to them. State champions to there, Adam. It's going to be a tough team once again to play in Class 2A, which Bluffton is in that sectional. Busco's in that sectional. East Side as well. That's going to be exciting to watch with how all those teams are playing, but in particular, Adams Central rising to the occasion again.
Yep, going to be looking forward to seeing where the ping pong balls fall on Sunday in regards to seeing who Adams Central and their pathway potentially down to a state championship down at Lucas Oil.
And how about Busco too?
Hey,
the big win. Look, they had already clinched the small division championship in the NECC. West Noble, your big division championship. So kind of the clash of the champions, if you will. And Busco pulls out on top. Quick note about Busco. I mentioned on the pregame show, Weston Ott, their defensive end. He is a state runner-up in discus and shot put. Got the Notre Dame commitment this week from him for track and field. So he's headed to South Bend next year. Congrats to him. Wonderful athlete. Got to talk to him earlier this year, and somebody that to watch in basketball and in track and football at Busco. But Busco gets a big win as they continue to roll.
That's a look at your H&K Chevrolet of New Haven scoreboard. We're going to take another break and come back and wrap things up. You're listening to the Kester's postgame show powered by Pizza Hut on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
and 100.9 FM.
I'm Adam Lundy coming to you for a final time this evening as we wrap up coverage after our Midwest Box Breaks high school football game of the week, which saw the Carroll Chargers defeat the Northwood Bruins by a score of 48-37. And, dude, we're wrapping things up here. Anything else you want to say before we sign out?
Well, we got one more week in the regular season. Sectional draw on Sunday. Should be interesting to see how those ping pong balls fly.
Absolutely. We'll be keeping a track of that, and we'll we'll let you know where we're going to be next Friday night. Stay tuned to our social medias. Just search 1380 The Fan wherever you get your social media. That'll do it for us tonight. We're going to get you off to Bob Level to get you a statewide recap of tonight's action. That's coming up next. You've been listening to the Kester's Postgame Show powered by Pizza Hut right here on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.